A plea from pilots for more help to stop the pandemic devastating the airline industry. Let's get more on Wales becoming the first home nation to qualify for the knockout stages of Euro 2020, despite losing 1-0 to Italy and having to hang on to secure their qualification on goal difference. Well, during the game, we heard from Wales fans, brothers Steve and Mike Thomas. Both had travelled to Baku to see their team and they're now isolating, so have been watching tonight's game at home. Steve is in Cardiff. Mike is in London. How relieved are you, Steve?
Very relieved. The phrase literally on the edge of my seat was literally the right phrase this time. I was right on the edge, kicking every ball, clearing every ball, biting the nails. Yeah, very relieved. Watching the other game as well, making sure they didn't score too many goals. Mightily relieved and just so happy. They submitted to the knockout stage again, the second tournament on the trot. Really pleased.
Mike, it's strange, isn't it, to be elated even though you lost?
Yeah. It's a bit bittersweet, I think, I'd say.
Yes, I can imagine it is. But I mean, Italy were a powerful side. It was always going to be a tough game, I suppose, wasn't it? How far, Mike, do you think that they can go in this tournament now they're through to this next stage?
I mean, we've got a great opportunity. I think we've got that game out of the way. I think after the sending off, it was always going to be difficult. And then when we brought Mr. Kiefer Moore on up front, it shows us playing at our best, and I think that's what we're going to do for the rest of the games. I do fancy us in the next round, and I can see us definitely getting to the quarterfinals for sure.
How much of that optimism do you share, Steve?
Yeah, I think we don't like to get too ahead of ourselves. You know, we haven't qualified for major tournaments for so long. In 2016, we were happy just to be there, and to a degree, that was the same this time round. Arguably a harder group this time. But when you look at our possible opponents for the next round, it's likely to be Russia or Finland, with an outside chance of Denmark, who are a bit of an unknown quantity now, without their talisman Eriksson. Thankfully, he's all good. So yeah, I think we can definitely beat Finland and Russia, and have done so in recent times. So I think a quarterfinals is, that would be great. That would be great. But not getting too ahead of ourselves.
Obviously, Mike, we said that you were isolating because you went to Baku for the previous match. How did you manage to watch it with other people, even though it was a rather solitary pursuit tonight?
It's a strange one, yeah. I was on my own, obviously, in the flat, isolating, but the phone's going off every 2 minutes. People chatting away, the usual group sort of sharing their thoughts on the game, whether it should have been sending off, the close miss. So it's different for sure. We try to keep it as much of a group thing as possible, doing it that way.
So, Steve, how do you hope to support Wales next time?
Well, we've got a good bunch of people that go away quite regularly, and obviously to the home games there's a good 8 to 10 of us, and I think with a bit of luck, I will have served the quarantine period, and we'll be able to perhaps book a table in one of the local bars. It's something we did for the France friendly recently. We managed to watch the game in Gareth Bale's bar in Cardiff, so we could do something like that again, because it is very much a group affair, really, over the years. Wales away, as we do it, it's not so much for the result. If we went for the result, we probably wouldn't go at all. We go for the camaraderie, the visiting cities, trying the local food and drink, and just generally enjoying ourselves. And it just happens to be a football match as well. So we'll try and replicate that probably in a local bar here, I reckon. Yeah,
that sounds like a good plan. Much nicer to have people to share it with. But you're having to keep your eye on other matches though as well, aren't you? In tournaments like this, Mike. You can't just watch your own team. You need to know what everyone else is up to.
It's tough. You need to have eyes in the back of your head almost. I think we had one game on S4C, one game on ITV, just keeping an eye. And it was getting touch and go there for a while, but thankfully Turkey got that goal back. And then in the last couple of minutes in our game, I think we looked comfortable enough. And I think Italy just sort of thought, you know what, we're fine here. So, not ideal, but from now on it's a knockout competition, so it's all good.
Well, I'm delighted that you got the result that you wanted, kind of. It was good enough, wasn't it, as you said? Enjoy the rest of the tournament. Steve and Mike Thomas, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.